Today I'm gonna be making an island burger. This was requested by Miss Brittany for me to come up with like a Caribbean style burger. So this is what I came up with. I tried out the recipe maybe like a week or two ago, switched some things up, and I hope you guys like it. So this is gonna be a beef burger. The island flavor is gonna come from the pineapple chow that we're gonna put on top of the beef burger and the bun. So the bun is cocoa bread. Usually you'll get this with your beef patty. This one's pretty big. I got this from Conrad's Bakery. So this is how big it is. So I cut mine in half. If your cocoa bread is probably smaller, you could probably get away with using one whole cocoa bread for one burger. But for me, I had to cut it in half. If you've ever had fresh cocoa bread, it is everything, okay? Show you a little bit of my ingredients. I have half a lime here. I'm gonna use this for my pineapple chow. I have half of a scotch bonnet that I minced. I have 2 cloves of garlic minced. I have about 1 tablespoon of beni that I chopped up really fine. Some butter for the bun that I'm gonna be toasting in the oven, and a little bit of sugar. I have mayo, I have salt, I have my avocado that I hope is good today. I have my pineapple, and let me show you the size that I cut it into. So not too small, but also not too big. Oh, you can smell that. Okay, and my ground beef I seasoned earlier with just 1 tablespoon of green seasoning and a little bit of salt and pepper. I didn't want to over season the patties because the chow has a lot of flavor. So this is my beef here. It was sitting in the fridge. So to start, go ahead and preheat your oven to about 400 degrees. I'm doing that now. We're gonna put the bread in there to toast for a little bit. And the next step is gonna be to form the patties. So we're gonna form the patties and we're gonna pop them in the refrigerator or probably the freezer for like 5 minutes, just so they firm up. You don't want your burger patties to break apart on you while you're cooking them. So I usually pop them in the refrigerator for a little bit. But for time, I'm just gonna pop them in the freezer for like 5 minutes, okay? So the 1 pound of meat is gonna make you about 4 burger patties. If you doubled up the recipe, then just multiply everything by 2. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull out 2 slices of my cheddar cheese, just sliced cheddar cheese. I'm gonna show you how I do this. Just stack them together like this. Fold them in half, break it, fold it in half again, break that down the middle. So now you should have, what, 8 little quarters, right? So for each 2 little quarter like this, you're gonna go ahead and just fold it on itself. So now you have like a little pocket of cheese, and we're gonna stuff this into the patty, the burger patty, okay? So now we're gonna form these patties and put them in the freezer. I'll show you. So I just separated them so I know the sizes. Gonna grab one. So now, I'm gonna make these patties a little thick, only because the cheese has to go in. You don't want too much of that cheese to run out. So this is how you're forming it in your hand, with like a little well in the middle. Put your little cheese packet in there and cover it up. It's important that you make sure that your cheese is fully covered. So it's a little bigger than my palm. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other 3. Okay, so this is patty number 4. I am going to pop these in the freezer just so they can set up. Cover it, pop it in the freezer for like 5 minutes. Today we're gonna do a pineapple chow. So you can save this recipe and use this later to have like just a snack to eat during the summer. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a slightly modified version of a chow because we want this to be, traditionally chow is salty and tangy and spicy. We also want this to be sweet so it can complement the burger patty, right? So if your pineapples are not sweet, taste it. If you have one of those pineapples that are kind of you're gonna need to add a little bit of sugar to this. If your pineapples are super ripe, you don't need the sugar, right? So mine are not super ripe, but they're getting me a little bit, so I'm gonna put like a little bit of brown sugar, like half a teaspoon, not a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and squeeze some lime. And I ended up with less than 2 cups here. This is about 1 cup. So I don't want to use the entire lime and then it's too limey. So if you use the full 2 cups, go ahead and use the whole half of the lime. I'm going in with some shadow beni here that I minced. You want a lot of this. This is where all your flavor is. So you put about a tablespoon of that in there. And for the spicy part, we're going to go in with half of a scotch bonnet that's finely minced. You want that finely minced. You don't want to be biting into big chunks of scotch bonnet. So, but scotch bonnet is necessary. You need a little spice for this. Now I'm going to go in a little bit of salt. Also start off with maybe half a teaspoon of the salt, taste everything and see. You're supposed to taste the salt in this, right? And that's another reason why I didn't want to over season the ground beef. Okay, let me taste this, see where I'm at. This is good. That's my timer, so I'm gonna pop my, I am going to pop my pineapple chow in the fridge until we're ready to assemble, and I'm gonna pull my patties out the freezer. Let me just show you. Doesn't that look so good? Okay. Pop this in the fridge, I will be right back. I am gonna go ahead and start cooking the patties. And once the patties are in the pan, then I'm gonna move on to making the avocado sauce. So, I'm gonna put my pan here on to like a medium flame, not too high. I have my spatula here to flip. I'm gonna put just about half a tablespoon. Ground beef has a lot of fat in it, so you really don't need to put too much. Make sure it's spread around evenly. So these are my patties. See, with a little bit of that green seasoning going in there, even though we didn't use a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go in with 2 patties in the pan right now. Let's pray this avocado is a good one. I do have one for backup, but hopefully I don't need it. There's a little black part there. I'm gonna just take that out, but otherwise it's pretty good. If you're using a blender, just scoop your avocado out. If you're making for more than 4 people, or you're doubled up the recipe, this would work really well in your blender. Or your NutriBullet. Even a hand blender would work. Okay, so in here I'm gonna put my garlic, my 2 cloves of garlic that I minced. I'm gonna put that in with my avocado. And then I'm gonna go in with a 1/4 cup of mayo. Just regular mayo. This sauce is really good. You can use this for any sandwich. You want to make a turkey sandwich, you can put that on there. Tuna. The only thing is that it doesn't really hold well in the fridge because there's no citrus in it to keep the avocado from turning. So you kind of got to make it and use it same day. Taste it. I'm not going to put any salt in here, but you taste it and see if you need any. This is what it looks like. Saucy but thick, more like a spread. That's the consistency you want. Okay, I'm just going to put this aside. Now I'm just going to butter up the bread that's going to go in the oven. So this is my cocoa bread, a really big one, so I cut it in half. I'm just gonna spread a little bit of butter on here. It's best if you have room temperature butter for this, it just makes easier spreading. My cocoa bread, smeared some butter all over it. Getting ready to pop that in the oven in a second. Okay, so both of my burger patties have flipped. Let's see. You can see the color. These little brown parts. That's what you want. So some people like their burgers well done. Some people like it a little pink inside. I prefer for burgers that they're as close to well done as possible. That's not how I like my steak, however. Steak needs to be medium or medium well. That's it. But for these, for burgers, I prefer them to be cooked all the way through. So I'm gonna make sure these cook evenly on both sides, and then I'm gonna add the cheese. Cover the pan and let the cheese melt before I assemble, okay? Now I'm gonna go ahead and put the cocoa bread in the oven. So my oven's preheated at 400. And we don't want a very heavy toast on that. We kind of just want the butter to melt, a light toast. We don't need it to be brown. We just need a couple minutes in there. In fact, I'm gonna put 5 minutes on my timer and then I'll check on it. When you cut into your burger and you see the cheese just oozing out, or even if you bite into it, you see it's so good. If you don't like cheese, it's not the burger for you. And that sharp cheddar just sort of like complements everything. Brown. Okay, they're both pretty brown. I'm gonna flip it one more time. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with my cheese. So this is how I do my cheese so that there's not an abundance of cheese in my pan. Let's see, your burger's round, your cheese is square, right? And my patties are a little thicker but smaller in circumference, right? So I'm just gonna fold the edges over. So we can cover more surface area of the, see? I'm gonna flip it over and then I'm gonna put that on the patty. So there's still gonna be some spillage, but it's not gonna be a whole chunk of your cheese just wasted the bottom of your frying pan. I'm gonna turn the heat down really low now. So at this point, we just want the cheese to melt. Again, so I folded each corner over just like that. I'm gonna flip it. Just made the cheese smaller and I'm putting it on the bun. See? So there's not a whole bunch of spillage on either side. Really low flame, and I'm going to just cover it so it can melt. 41 seconds left on the cocoa bread, and I'm gonna pull that out and assemble. I'm gonna grab my pineapple chow now. Pineapple chow. Avocado sauce. My buns are in the oven. That's my timer for the bread. Let me check on it. Some of that heat come out. This is perfect. So you can see there's like the little edges got a little brown. We want that, but the inside is just soft. You can see it, the indent that it's making, it's soft. So it's not too toasted. This should be all melted. It is. Gonna give that like 30 more seconds. I'm so excited. Okay, so my cheese is nice and melted. I'm just gonna turn the stove off for right now. Look at that. See, you still have the nice spillage, right? And also you see how much oil is in there? That's just from the ground beef. Ground beef is has a lot of fat in it, so no need to put too much oil in the pan when you're frying it, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and assemble. This is my cocoa bread, my toasted cocoa bread. I'm gonna go in at the base of it here with my avocado sauce. You want a lot of this. Then we're gonna go in with one of these burgers. You can even be adventurous and double it up. But this is quite a lot of meat for me. This is my burger. I'm gonna put it right on top of my sauce. So this is where I'm at right now. You see my sauce spilling out the side, my burger on top. And now we're gonna go in with some chow right on the top. Just gonna try to gently place this on here. So I thought about putting like some lettuce on here, but then I'm like, lettuce is really just a waste of an ingredient on a burger. Like, who needs that? If your cheese is melty enough, your pineapple should be sticking. Wipe up my plate. And I have my little scotch bonnet here for garnish. Okay. This is the burger, guys. So that's it. That is my island burger, guys. Thanks for joining me today. Today I made an island burger. I hope you guys try the recipe. If you try the recipe, please post a picture, tag me in it, send me a message, let me know how it goes, and if you love it as much as I do. Thanks for rocking with me, guys.